Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Move Me Back series. Today I have with me Lala. Hey.
Hey!
I'm so glad you could make it here today.
Thank
I know
you
you
for
had a
having
little bit
me.
of a journey to get here, but you're here, so that's great.
Thank you.
So tell me, Lala, are you Ghanaian?
I am Jamaican, but I grew up in
Hey.
America, so I left Jamaica at 8 years old,
Okay.
and I've lived like the past 20 years in America.
Wow.
Yeah, over 25 years actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, but you're in Ghana. Why are you not in Jamaica?
Well, Jamaica, me visiting Jamaica in 2016 is
Mhm.
what pushed me to come to Ghana
Oh, okay.
because I was craving like a natural environment.
Hmm.
And so when I visited Jamaica, I was like, I want to be in this environment, but there's no opportunity as much as there is in
Oh,
Africa.
really?
So I decided, let me visit Ghana because people kept telling me about it.
About the
So yeah, so
similarities.
it's similar a
Mm,
lot. Yeah.
okay. So, what did you find was similar? What was the immediate things that kind of jumped out at you?
The food,
Yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
culture, the kindness of the people,
Mm,
the climate.
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically everything. Yeah,
Mm,
everything. So there's some differences in culture, but for the most part, the
mhm,
people are exactly the same. The food, the climate, like I mentioned, and
mhm.
yeah, it just gave me that nostalgic feeling that I
Yeah.
felt when I visited Jamaica.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, what would you say are some of the main differences? Yeah, what's different?
The differences.
Mm-hmm.
There's no carnival here. That's
Ah,
like a
okay.
major
Right.
cultural event we have there.
Uh-huh.
So, for the most part, we're modest, just like Ghanaians,
Mm-hmm.
but we like enjoyment. So that's
But
similar.
Ghanaians like
Yeah,
enjoyment.
we
In
love
fact, maybe
enjoyment.
sometimes
So,
too much.
yeah, that's a similarity, but the
Mhm.
difference is it's hard. It's hard for me to pinpoint any
Mm.
differences. I never even thought about that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no real differences. We look the same.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, the culture, like how women dress,
Mm.
is the same.
Mm.
It's just how we speak.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the only difference.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, so why did you feel that in Jamaica you didn't have the opportunities? What kind of opportunities were you looking for
Hmm.
specifically?
Well, my parents kind of like raised me to see progression where I am. So as a child, I moved around a lot.
Mm.
And they moved to America in 96 when Olympics was going on. And that was the best time for them to move there
Mm-hmm.
because of the influx of people that were coming into the country. And
Right.
it's the same here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing progression. A lot of people see the same potential that I see.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of development that needs to be made, and I feel like me being an entrepreneur and
Mm-hmm.
a pioneer and just seeing opportunities where there is no development in certain places,
Mm.
there can be
Right.
opportunity in those areas. So
Mm-hmm.
the things that are missing here, I feel I can fill in the gaps.
Right.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
in America, the seats are all full,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a
Mm.
lot more competitive,
Yeah, the competition. Yeah.
So yeah, I think
Mm.
it's a lot more here.
Yeah. So, how long have you been in Ghana for?
So far now, almost 3 months.
That's very, very
3 months,
new still.
yeah. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
new, but it doesn't feel like it at all.
Really?
It does not feel
Does it
like
feel
it.
like a home away from home?
Yeah, from Jamaica, but I haven't lived in Jamaica since I've left at
Oh,
8 years old.
okay.
So the only remembrance I have of it is being around my family and people like that. So
Mm.
it does remind me of my family back in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And certain foods that I see, I'm like, this is Jamaican
Yeah.
food. Like what do they call it? The hot balls or
Oh, the buffalo.
it's like a fried dumpling.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and I was
buffalo.
like, I asked the
Mm-hmm.
guy before I bought it. I was like, "What is this?" Because it was
Yeah.
shaped differently,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "This is the hot balls or something." And I was like, "This is
It's kind of
not."
like a donut
I said,
almost.
This is
Mm-hmm.
fried dumpling. We have this in
Yeah.
Jamaica." So,
Mm-hmm.
when I see things like that, I'm like, "Wow, this reminds me so much of back home."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's nice. So, what do you do?
Well, I have my YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and I'm an English tutor.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I'm just really like an ambassador of Christ. I don't really do anything.
Yeah.
I do
She said she
everything.
doesn't
I
do
don't do anything, but I do
anything.
everything. Like I've had an online boutique for 4 years.
Mm,
I had a locks business where
mm,
I did faux locks in
mm,
New York for 4 years. So I've done a lot of different things, and I just use my God given talents.
mm.
Yeah, so there's nothing that I really just do. Like
Yeah.
whatever I decide to do,
Hmm.
I can do it.
That's nice. I
Yeah.
love that because actually, what you're saying does actually make sense because I feel like for those that want to move to Ghana, it's so important to have an entrepreneurial spirit. So you
Mhm.
got to be able to do lots of different things, figure out new things, and that's
Mhm.
almost like a survival mode here, you know.
Yeah.
And so I think you saying that actually does make sense. So when I hear that, I'm actually encouraged by that because I'm like, you're on the right path
Right.
because you have to be able to turn your hands at almost anything,
Right. And
you
I've
know.
always been a risk taker, so
Mm,
just coming here and seeing like it's people coming here from
mm-hmm.
all over the world and moving here
Yeah.
and living in America was the best thing that my parents could have ever done for me because
Really.
it allows you to see so many possibilities
Mm.
of different businesses that you can open.
Right, and replicate them.
Right, because
Mm.
there's different types of people. So there's no one service that you cannot offer that's missing here.
Mm.
So, I've always been an entrepreneur. So if you are in that field,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier for you to get grounded here because it's not as much competition like I mentioned.
Right,
Yeah,
I
I love
see.
that. I love it.
So I think, what do you think would be like if someone wants to move from abroad and come here? What do you think some of the things are? I know you've been here only a short period, but what do you think are some of the things that they should look out for in terms of being able to make money or hold on to their money, or do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what are some tactics that they can use?
Yeah.
The best thing to do is become like connected with the people.
Mm,
Connect with the diaspora, connect with the locals, especially
mm,
to be able to see like what type of opportunity. Because everything that I've heard of is through word of mouth.
right.
So if
Mm-hmm.
you don't connect with the people and you stay in your own bubble,
Mm,
it's kind of hard to see what opportunity is out there.
yeah.
And I see many different opportunities
Mm,
in Africa.
mm.
Yeah, it's just connection,
Right. Okay.
connection.
Okay. So why didn't you decide to live the rest of your life in America? Because
Um,
people think America's amazing, right? There's
mhm.
like opportunities there. I mean,
Yeah.
everything works as a system. It works. Whereas
Yeah.
over here, they say that there are not like proper systems in place.
Mhm.
So why did you not want to live your days out there?
Because I wanted a new start for my child.
Hmm.
She influenced my move a lot because I lost my parents in America
Oh,
to cancer.
both of them.
Yeah, and
Oh
that's why I'm so
wow.
passionate
Sorry.
about health and fitness,
Mm,
because the food that you eat there, it's a lot of fake foods.
yeah. Mm,
GMO based
mm,
foods, things like that. So
yeah.
no matter how healthy you are, it's
Mm,
gonna catch up with you.
yeah.
So I was more focused on health
Mm,
and just forming a foundation
mm,
where she can have me here for the rest of not the rest
mm,
of her life, but in
yeah.
old age
Mm,
I'll still be here,
yeah.
and she has a higher chance of having me around.
Mm,
So a lot of it was influenced by my child, me moving here. I
mm,
see a chance at a legacy.
yeah.
The richness I was looking for in America is not what I thought.
Mm,
In Jamaica, we envision America as this utopia, like it's amazing and we're
mm,
going to go there and get rich. And I've made a lot of money in
mm,
America, but it doesn't matter if the food is fake, if
yeah.
we're not making
Health over
connections
everything.
with
Yeah.
other people and then things are so interpersonal. I want my daughter to have a real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I want her to make connections
Mm,
and be connected with her community, and I want her to feel valued.
yeah.
So all of the things that are important to me are here in Africa.
Mm,
Yeah, in
I
Ghana
see.
specifically.
So, do you see yourself living here forever,
In
or do you
Africa.
want in Ghana specifically, or do you feel like you're gonna be moving around?
I think this whole world belongs to us melanated people. So Africa is not the last stop for me, but I do want to travel to every country in Africa and see, what it's about and promote it. That's like a mission of mine. But I've traveled to many different places from Asia to Europe. So I want to travel the whole world and see, what it's about. Yeah.
So where have you been to in Africa apart from Ghana?
So I started in Ghana in 2018, but after then, last year I started in Rwanda.
Okay.
Yeah, then I went to Tanzania, Nairobi, and then Kampala.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we ended up here because this is where we originally wanted to be, but plans change and I had to take a reroute to East Africa. And I'm happy we did because it is more to Africa than just West Africa for certain people. But eventually my preferences led me here. But yeah, we spent a whole year in East Africa.
Really? Yeah. That's a long time though. Wow. Yeah. So why did none of those other African countries quite suit you? What was not quite right for you?
Well, I'm searching for my lineage and my roots overall, and that's what led me away from there. So when I went there, I was thinking that my lineage was in East Africa, but most of it is actually in West Africa. Yeah, so 44% Nigerian and then 17% Ghanaian.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so why didn't you go to Nigeria then?
Because they don't have the best system set up for like expats. It's not as welcoming as Ghana has been for the diaspora. So eventually I will visit. Yeah. But yeah, for now it's Ghana, and we may go there once my visa expires. Okay. And then come back. Yeah.
Well, that's nice. That's really nice because you're kind of exposing your daughter to things that she could easily be lied about. She's getting to see Africa for what it really is at a really young age, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yes, I think her self-esteem has really improved, and I say that to say because she doesn't know what America is now. Like all she knows is Africa, but I feel like her self-esteem will be way higher here than it is in America because Black people get put in the background, and here she's put in the foreground, So when people in the neighborhood say hey to her and acknowledge her, you could see her face just light up. But I didn't have that in America, because Black people, we got to compete with our counterparts. Yeah. So I love that for her.
Yeah. That's really nice. So tell me something that you absolutely love about Ghana. I know you've mentioned a few things already, but specifically, what do you love about Ghana?
The beach. I love beaches. I love to relax, meditate, and that's something that I absolutely need when I live somewhere. And that's what took me away from Kampala because that was the last place I was living in, and it was beautiful. It actually felt like a tropical environment, but it was missing a natural coastal, beach. So I was just like, it's time to go. Yeah. So the beach is important, and the food. Yeah, I love to eat.
Really? I love it. Okay, so what types of food do you like here?
I love the what is it? Wakin.
God, I'm not gonna help you say it. God.
Wakin.
She tried. I'll give her a 4 out of 10 for that. Wache. She's like,
oh my God. I butchered it. Watch it.
We'll let you have that.
Yeah.
Watch it. Yeah.
And the little bread that you get in the traffic.
Bread.
The bread, the bun.
Oh, and they put the blue bands in it?
No, it's just like it's like a bun that you get in traffic. It's 3 CDs or 2 CDs for the small
I've only seen regular bread.
They taste like the bread at this restaurant called Ryan's in America, and they have the best bun. Like they give you those buns before you eat dinner. Oh, so I love it. Just little snacks like that because I like to snack. I like to eat full meals. Yeah, so they have some of the foods we eat in America America and Jamaica. So like curry and white rice, things like that. I love, but they don't have that in East Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel sometimes nervous to eat by the roadside? I know for me, I am sometimes like that because I'm fussy anyway. You know that. So don't come I'm just saying. But how do you feel about picking stuff up at the roadside?
I'm not nervous. It's all about how that person's how hygienic they are. You know, if they're touching the food with their hands, I don't want it because that's not. You know, but especially if you cook it fresh, like if it's meat or fish, I don't want anything that's been sitting out because more than likely a fly has pitched on it, and that's when my stomach will hurt.
Yeah,
you know. But other than that, I'm good. I'm not nervous.
Right.
I'm not nervous at all.
Okay. So tell me something that you find difficult about living here.
Woo!
Woo! She said, woo!
In my area specifically, it's just like hard to get transportation. So that for me is like new because I moved here from New York.
Right.
I moved to Africa from New York. So to have to wait for transportation and for the people to call me and be like, "Where are you headed?" It's like, come on, you see it.
Question ever. Where are you going?
Exactly, like it's right there on the map.
Right.
So it's just things like that I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta practice my patience. And then like power outages, just the simple stuff we're not used to in the West. Yeah.
So do you feel like Ghana is teaching you to learn to be more patient?
Yeah. Overall, Africa has just changed who I am as a person for the better. Even if it's unpleasant, it's like, okay, it's meant to happen. Yeah.
So what were your family like? I know you said your parents are not alive anymore, but the rest of your family, what did they say when you said you're moving to Ghana? Laughing.
You had to go there. Oh my gosh.
I went there.
My family is not supportive of my move here. I feel like I'm personally supposed to be like a generational curse breaker. And this to me I see as progression, but to my family they see it as like some crazy mission, and they see me as irresponsible. But I never listen to anybody's opinion of me because I'm living my own life.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so they're not supportive, but it's okay.
No, that's absolutely fine. Even for me, when I was going to move to Ghana, people were like, "You're crazy," and I'm Ghanaian, and they were like, "You can't make it there." Do you know what I mean? So I appreciate what you're saying, but you have to do what is right for you.
Yeah, it can be discouraging, but you have to realize like, why are you here? You know. And I have a bigger purpose here, so it was nothing that was going to discourage me, and that's why I didn't share it too much with people before I left. Like once they told me that they're not on my side, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna keep talking to them about it. Yeah.
That can be tough when people don't support you, but it's something that you feel that you need to do, and so you just kind of have to do it. Like you said, you can't live your life for other people. So.
Exactly. And this is the first time like I've lived my life out loud. I've always made moves behind the scenes, but me documenting it on YouTube for people to see. And also another thing that makes people not support me is because I'm making this God's mission. And there's people in my family or my circle, they don't believe in God. So when you make that a part of it, it's like, what God? God, which God? How is he talking to you and he doesn't talk to me? So it's kind of like that disconnect.
But that's actually surprising though, because obviously your background is Jamaican anyway, and the two places are almost similar, so that doesn't even help. The fact that your roots are there.
Because in Jamaica, they still paint a picture of Africa as like, begging kids, like they don't paint the big picture. It's not until this generation started to see images on YouTube that we started to see, because when people started telling me about Ghana, I was like, what is Ghana? I thought they were saying Guinea or I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was in Africa. Before 2018 I had no idea, and then once I started to research it, I was like, oh, this is lit. This looks just like Jamaica. So then I said, I'm going. I started listening to all the music. I came here, they was like, are you Ghanaian? It's like, nope, but I've been researching you guys for like
so
6
so you
months.
found out of Ghana in 2018, and then you came here
Yes.
just almost a year after.
Yeah, no, literally like 6 months after I started researching it.
What?
I was like, I'm saving up and I'm gonna go.
Wow.
And it was like the best decision I ever made.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I have so much respect for you right now because it takes a lot to be that brave. Had you even been to Africa before?
No. But before then, I've traveled to Thailand. I went to Amsterdam alone.
Yeah. So what's the next place you would like to visit after Ghana?
After Ghana, I definitely want to go to Nigeria because they said most of my bloodline is there. So I would love to see what the culture is like, what the people is like, if I can make some friends, what the food is like, everything. So I want to discover Nigeria. And then just every part of West Africa, honestly. Yeah, then I'll go to the south and then the north.
Yeah. I get you. So have you been able to make friends here? What's that been like? That's a big part for people.
Yeah, it's easier to make friends in Africa, period. I haven't specifically made a lot of friends, but I made associates, people who helped me on the passing by. In America, things are just way more impersonal. So people text. I don't feel like people really making connections because of social media. So here, anywhere in Africa, people they call you. You know, they only text you when they have to, and people are more friendly. But in America, we have this guard of like, I don't know if I can trust you, so it's gonna take me a while to warm up to you. So yeah, it's easier here.
Yeah. So how were you able to make the move? Because I mean, you've come here. How did you find a place to stay before you came and stuff like that? How did that work? Because for some people, it's like, where do I start? Okay, I want to come to Ghana, but I don't know anybody there. How am I going to do that? And I'm not going to stay in a hotel because I can't afford it.
See, all those what ifs, that's fair. So I tried not to, walk with fear, like, because I'm moving on a godly vibration. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be anxious about every situation. That's something I've really had to battle with. But coming here, since I left East Africa, I've had so much fear in that situation. Now I'm just walking with faith. So as soon as I got here, I mean, God just placed me in position with the right people to put me where I need to be. So when I stayed at the hotel that the first hotel that I stayed at, someone referred me to a European lady who was leaving her apartment, and she was looking for someone to rent it. So it just came that easy. Like, so I just go with the flow.
Into place. Right?
Just go with the flow. Don't overthink everything, because if something is meant for you, it's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, it's meant to test you.
Right.
Yeah, as simple as that.
I like that. That's
easier
nice.
said than done, though.
No, but it's a good basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give me a piece of advice that you'd give to someone wanting to move here in your position and doesn't really know where to start.
Doesn't know where to start. I would say just look at YouTube videos, because there's so much knowledge that people have come here and given out, especially on my channel, So just start by researching, move with faith, and don't share too much information before you make the move, because all of that will discourage you.
Yeah.
So that's have faith, do the research, save as much money as you can and make the move. Yeah.
I think that's really good advice. Well, in fact, just before we sign up, what was your biggest expense moving to Ghana?
My biggest expense, the flight.
Okay.
It's always a flight. It's always a flight. And that's because I missed my flight.
Oh, okay.
So we booked the flight a few weeks before, and I missed the flight. So I had to pay an extra $400. And that's really it, because accommodations here are so cheap.
Okay. How much is accommodation roughly?
Well, the hotel that I was staying at, they had different hotel rooms from varying from $20 to $30 a night.
Oh, okay.
So I stayed there for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah. And then I got my place, and my place is much cheaper than that. So
really?
Yeah.
How much did you pay?
$24 a month.
What?
$24.
Is it a house or is it like?
It's an apartment.
Like it's like this size.
It's an apartment. Now it's not the fanciest place. It's not dirty. It's not. It doesn't have any issues. It's just, you know, it's a lot of trash in that area. But I don't care as long as my house is clean. As long as my house is clean, and then the beach is like literally a 5-minute walk away. So, you know, that's it. It's just the community is not on the same page with me with the trash, but other than that, like, it's nice. The place is, But I'd say you're on the right lines, because I feel like a lot of people, when they come here, they want to have the nicest landing possible. So they want the best house, they want the best neighborhood, they want the best of everything. You have to ask yourself, like, are you doing this to impress or set yourself ahead? Because looking at my parents is something that I would have done. This is what I would have done differently, because when I came here, I went broke. Because I wanted the best of everything. I wanted to be in the best. I want to flash. Oh, I'm coming to Africa and I'm rich. But you're not rich. It's, you know, the currency difference is different, but it's not that much different.
Right. Living here, right?
Right. It's so different. You want to live below your means, because when we moved from Jamaica to America, we had like our own beds in Jamaica, but when we went to America, my brother was on a couch. He was sleeping on the couch, and my sister and I shared a room, and we're 8 years apart. So just looking at my parents' following in their footsteps, I said, okay, this time when I come here to Ghana, I am going to live below my means, and then the next year I'll come up and, you know, increase how much I'm actually spending. But you don't want to come to Africa and try to like impress people. What do they call that? Living with the you trying to live with the Joneses. Don't do that, because I've seen people make that mistake a lot. Every single time.
They go home, you know, a year or two, they're back on the airplane.
Exactly. And I went broke in Tanzania, and honestly, I'm happy I went broke there and not Ghana. Because in Tanzania, you at least have Nairobi next door, you have Kampala, and you can easily go through those cities than it is to go through the west of Africa. You know, because Nigeria isn't like, you can't just go from Nigeria to Ghana to, you know, like you have to stay put. Because Ghana is the most welcoming. You know, you do have some places that are open to expats, but it's a lot easier to move throughout East Africa. So if I didn't make that mistake there and I made it in Ghana, I would have probably completely failed my mission and went right back to America.
We don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want that. Right.
Oh, wow. No, awesome. I want to thank you so much for talking to me today.
I
feel like there's so many other things that I want to ask you.
Come on.
I just feel like that would make it into way too long.
Exactly.
But where can people find you?
So you can follow me on my YouTube. It's Lala's Journey, LALAS Journey. And my Instagram is journey_with_Lala.
Okay, awesome.
All right, thank you.
So thank you. So guys, please go ahead, check her out. Check out her YouTube and her Instagram. Sign up, follow her journey. I'm sure she's going to have so much to share with you guys. So do head over there and subscribe. It's easy to do that. Also, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor, please. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to also like, comment, and share this video. I'd appreciate it very much. Until next time, we are out. Nutitfafa.
Bye.